All right, so it looks like most people are here with us. So let's get started. And just if you just joined us, just a reminder to open up and print out the webinar worksheet that we're going to be walking through today. You can download this at www.linkedbusinessaccelerator.com/ROI. And please just turn off your email, your social media, your phone to really focus on being productive in our time together. So let's get started. And my name is Angela Lin. I'm the founder of Social Media for Hire and Link Business Accelerator. Now, let me just start out by saying that the system I'm about to show you today is the real deal. I'm going to show you how to get more than 500 qualified leads and prospects within 14 days in just 8 minutes a day on LinkedIn. Now, you're here because you're probably one of Roy's connections or you're one of my connections. And like you, I'm a business owner and I'm responsible for growing my own business in terms of leads, prospects, and referrals. And so we created this training to really help add value to you. Now, understand who you are. You mainly get your clients and promotional partners through an initial presentation or conversation with your leads. So what are you doing right now to get referrals or leads? So I really struggled with this, all right? I really struggled to get more business and clients when I first started out. And maybe you tried these too, sending unsolicited emails that got filtered out as spam or lost in their inbox, cold calling only to be met with lots of rejections and gatekeepers that wouldn't put you through, running costly ads with low return on investment, or going to networking events that seemed like people just want to talk about their own business and really didn't care what you had to say. Or what about social media and online? And I know that's super overwhelming. Or time-consuming content that you needed to create and share and optimize for search results. So why do you think that so many people are doing these strategies, but they're really struggling with it to grow their business and grow their projects? And how much are you making from all this time and effort that you invested? You see, the problem is that everybody's taught these strategies, so you're not really getting anywhere if you're doing the same as everybody else. And the other thing is, it's a huge investment of time when you're competing with hundreds or thousands of people who are all trying to be better than you in these areas. So do you ever feel overwhelmed by all of this? And I know how you feel. And I see a lot of people struggling to get this right. Now, who really wins in all of this? Well, oftentimes it's the people with the most money or resources. So we have to really think differently about how to grow those leads, those referrals, and those prospects. Now, I know that your most valuable asset, it's your time. We've all got 24 hours in a day. So how much of that time do you spend talking to prospects and partners? Because the more time that you focus on talking to qualified prospects and partners, the more likely they are to do business with you. Because to really grow your business and grow your sales, you have to know, well, how do you increase the number of referrals, leads, and prospects? How do you ensure that you're talking to the right people so that your time is focused on closing more sales? The good news is I'm going to help you with both of these during the webinar so that you'll be able to see how much more income you can make when you have a LinkedIn system that works, when you can get the traffic and the conversion to go up. I'm going to show you how to think differently and do this in a very quick and concise manner. So in terms of what we'll cover today for our agenda, you'll be able to learn the proven system that consistently adds new leads and prospects to grow your sales on autopilot. You'll get my 4 secret steps to grow your referrals, and I'll actually give you my proven email script that got decision makers and qualified prospects wanting to talk with us within days and actually sometimes within just hours of sending this out. This is how we were able to get 5-figure clients, sometimes with just one message to them. And then I'm going to show you how to stay top of mind with thousands of prospects, and how we got 23% of cold prospects to join our LinkedIn group to use as a prospecting email list. And to show you how this all works, I'm going to show you 2 case studies, as well as showing you how to calculate your LinkedIn ROI so that you know exactly what this means for your business. So we're going to go for about 60 minutes. And if you have any questions as we go through the training today, please just send your questions along, type that into the chat box, and I'll make sure to answer it in the Q&A session at the end. Now, you'll learn how to succeed even if you're not tech savvy, if you're super busy, or if you're just starting out, because that's how I got started. Now, I know that there might be some people on the webinar, you might not know much about me, so let me just give you a quick introduction about how and why I got started. So the reason why I wanted to start my own business was because, growing up, did your parents ever fight about not enough money or about not enough time together? You see, my parents fought a lot about that because we were low income and my dad worked overseas. And I remember seeing them constantly fighting, and I wanted to figure out so badly as to how I could stop them from fighting so much. And I thought, well, if they're fighting so much about money, maybe if I were able to make more money, then we'd be a happy family again. And I knew that one of the ways to make money is to have your own business. Now, the problem is I was an accounting major in university, and I didn't know anything about marketing or sales or online technology or about having your own business. I mean, I was trained to be an employee. And you know how you don't just have customers when you first start? Well, I tried and really struggled to get more clients and get more partners. And maybe you try these too, the strategies we talked about earlier: cold calling, emailing, networking, social media, ads, content creation, a whole bunch of different strategies. And after very little response, I thought, well, there must be a better way to reach prospects. And I thought maybe I should try LinkedIn because I've been a member of it since 2007. But there was very little LinkedIn training available. It's not popular like YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. And so I tried to get clients and partners on LinkedIn by inviting them to connect, sending messages to them, joining discussions, trying to use posts, company pages, groups, and all of that. But it often resulted in a lack of response and feeling like a waste of time and effort. Do you ever feel like that? Because I didn't know what was the fastest way to get the most qualified prospects and partners. And what's the best way to begin that conversation? What do you say in that initial message? And how do you build the relationship to the point where prospects and partners want to have that conversation with you? So on top of that, I was actually trying to work 40 to 80 hours a week in the world's top 4 accounting firms while I was trying to succeed on LinkedIn. And so I didn't have that much time. But then I got really dedicated, and I spent thousands of dollars on training plus years of testing and improving on best practices, where I had to go through a lot of trial and error. And finally, it started paying off in 2012 because LinkedIn notified me that I had one of the top 5% most viewed profiles in the world. And I was successful at growing my prospect base and growing my client base on LinkedIn. And then I started to help my clients grow their business through LinkedIn as well. And my clients are now in US and Canada, and actually we just had one from Europe as well. So these companies pay us to run lead generation campaigns for them within LinkedIn. Now, with my clients, we were able to target management and C-level executives, whereby we got them $60,000 in sales from a marketing campaign that we did. And this is actually a 15 times return on their investment. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because I'm here to turn all of this fluffy social media stuff into actual new business, into results for you. And my mission now is to help you to create more free time to be with your family and friends, to make a positive difference, and of course, do what you love. Now, the fact is, there are really great strategies that we've been taking advantage of for our clients and for our business, but most people are really missing out on them. And I know that today it's going to be really great news for you because the thing is, I'm going to show you these strategies that we are currently using. And if you think, well, I'm already getting pretty good results on LinkedIn, I know that we're going to show you some strategies today to get you even greater results. So here's the question. Are your prospects and referral partners actually on LinkedIn? You're wondering if it's worth your time. Well, you're here, so LinkedIn's something that you can't ignore. But most people don't understand just how powerful it is. 45% of LinkedIn members are the major decision makers in their companies and organizations. And that means that these are the people who can say yes to using your products and services. Now, if you're selling to the affluent or you have higher end products or services, well, the average household income per user is $109,000, which is actually higher than any other social media sites. So people with money is using LinkedIn. And 40% of users check LinkedIn daily. And that's huge because it shows that many of the decision makers you want to reach are logging in every single day. It's probably why LinkedIn's actually growing at 2 times faster than Facebook or Twitter. So what does this mean for you? Well, this means there's a huge business opportunity and market potential of prospects on LinkedIn. Now, here's something that I want you to imagine. Just imagine if you no longer have to be cold calling and emailing with little or no response from prospects. If you're able to just eliminate that overwhelm. Imagine if you just wake up and your inbox is full of ideal clients asking you to call them because they need you. And we were able to get ideal clients that we've never contacted before to request more information or have an introductory call or consultation with us within just 3 days after sending out just one message. And the reality is, most people approach LinkedIn the wrong way. Maybe your competitors, they got a profile set up, but aside from that, they're pretty much not doing anything with it because they don't know what to do. They don't know the strategies. And so we're going to clear all of that away for you today and give you this competitive advantage. So let's talk about the system that we're going to walk through today. And as I promised, it's actually very simple. So because of that, it's something that you can easily put into place and it works. Now, the first thing I'm going to walk you through are the foundations you need to set up, the 3 foundations that you need for long-term success. Then, I'm going to show you the strategies for bringing prospects and leads into your funnel every single day. And then we'll show you how to become an influencer and be top of mind with thousands of prospects. And of course, show you how to automate and accelerate through all of this. Now, the first thing that you have to do is be willing to put in just a bit of work on the front end to set yourself up for long-term success. So I'm going to show you the 3 foundations that you absolutely need to have before you do anything else. The first step is to understand who you want to target. We call this creating your ideal client profile. Then, second is to optimize your LinkedIn profile so that you can convert those visitor views into leads for you. And then third is to join the right LinkedIn groups. Now, the first foundation is to create your ideal client profile. Well, what is it? Well, it's essentially a 1 to 2 page cheat sheet that includes the details on what your ideal client looks like. And the reason why you want to have this is because I see a lot of people wasting time. I know for me, when I first started out, I was just trying to reach out to, this might look like a good person, this might look like a good person, but not having a consistent plan for you to execute on. And so that's why people really struggle with getting the results they want. So once you have this, LinkedIn becomes so much more clear because you're not reinventing the wheel every time you log in terms of who you should reach out to and build relationships with. So you want to include 5 to 7 words to describe their titles or positions, their location, whether that's by distance or city or country, or industry. And I want you to list out 5 to 7 primary industries that your ideal clients and partners are in. And then the company size for the number of employees. So this is important sometimes if you want to reach small business versus mid-size or larger businesses. And you can actually specify up to Fortune 1000, Fortune 500 companies. So the result is that now you have a bigger focus on having the highest return on your investment of time and effort for who to reach out to when you're on LinkedIn. Now, the next step is to optimize your LinkedIn profile. So the reason why this is important is because this might be the only thing that a prospect looks at to determine if they'll do business with you. So there's a lot of steps for optimizing your profile, and I'm going to give you 3 of the key areas that a lot of people miss out on that you need to include to get found and contacted more by your prospects. So the first is to get found by including your top 3 to 7 keywords that your prospects and partners will likely search for you by online and in LinkedIn. And these would be the words that your prospects would use to describe your title or your services and products to include in your profile so that you're going to show up higher when they're searching on LinkedIn. Second is to get visitors to view your profile by optimizing your headline. So the reason why you want to do this is because anytime that you're sending a prospect a message or commenting in discussions or just showing up in search results, the first thing they're going to see is going to be your photo and your headline. Then on top of that, they're going to decide if they should visit your profile. So you really want to make sure that you include the keywords and how you help your prospects and partners right there in your headline. Then you want to get contacted more by your prospects by including a call to action in your summary and experience section. So when your prospects are done reading your profile, here's a question. Do they know what to do next to engage with you? See, a lot of people think that profile visitors, they're going to go and find your contact information elsewhere and then contact you. Now, unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. You have to tell them why they should contact you. What's in it for them? And how should they contact you? So I see a lot of profiles where they just list out what they do, but at the bottom, that's it. So you really want to list out your phone numbers or email or website URL that you want them to visit right there in your summary or experience section so that it's real easy for them to contact you without having to go search for it, because otherwise they'll just move on to your competitor's profile, which often shows up right next to yours. And so my recommendation for your profile is actually you want to get a LinkedIn expert to optimize your profile so that you don't have to figure out what to say to get found and contacted more by your prospects. So this is really important because you don't want to waste hours and hours trying to figure out what to say, especially if you're not trained as a copywriter. And that's why we help our clients to maximize their chances to get found and contacted more by prospects. So I just want to share with you some quick results. So we were able to get 150% to 250% profile views increase in just the first week after we optimized our client's profile. This isn't always the case, but I just want to show you some of the results that my clients have received. And another client had a connection inquire as to his services, which is usually 4 to 5 figures, within a week after we've optimized his profile. And this is with us not actively reaching out to anybody, and then people just saying, oh, I didn't know you do this. Can you help me? Now, the third foundation is to really join the right LinkedIn groups. And this is really critical, all right? Most of your competitors, most people, they join the wrong groups. And you want to figure out, well, what are those wrong LinkedIn groups? Well, most people make the mistake of joining groups that have their competitors or the same industries. So for example, I'm an accountant, so I'm going to join other accounting LinkedIn groups. And it's okay if you want to just join a few to stay up to date on your industry, but the majority of your groups, you would miss out on groups full of tens or hundreds of thousands of prospects and partners if you were to just focus on these groups. So instead, the people that really succeed are in groups that are full of their prospects and ideal clients and partners, because it's much easier to engage and build rapport with these ideal clients and partners if they've already pre-qualified themselves. And you can really use this to reach out to them you don't really have to convince them anymore. It's in a place where they're already looking. Now, let's say you want to go after a specific type of position or person, like CEO. Then all you want to do is you want to join lots of groups with CEO. So you can just type this into the search bar up at the top under groups. And you can see here there's over 3,000 results for CEOs. With the top group, it's C-suite levels, but it has over 100,000 members. And same thing goes for industry. So let's say for accounting, you want to join accounting groups, and there's over 7,000 groups for accounting. So you can see just these top 3 alone, each of them has over 100,000 members. Now, if your business is focused on a local area, like Calgary in my case, then you want to be in lots of groups within your city to find business owners and prospects and partners in that city. So I would recommend that you join as many groups as possible, specifically the groups that have the most number of members, so that you can leverage what others have already built for you. They've already built up these huge groups of your leads, your referrals, and partners. So now you can really just stand on the shoulder of giants and leverage off of that. So once that's set up, you just need to do those 3 foundations once. And here's what you'll have achieved. You'll now have a focus on reaching out to only ideal clients and partners on LinkedIn with your ideal client profile for the highest return on your investment of time and effort. You'll get found and contacted more by your prospects with your optimized profile. And you'll now be able to start reaching out to tens or hundreds of thousands of prospects in your LinkedIn groups. All right, and now it's really time to start bringing in those referrals, those leads, and prospects to turn them into clients and partners for you. And I know this is the part where a lot of you you're here because this is the part that you're most excited about. And let me just mention again, because there's a lot going on in the chat here, we're going to do a Q&A session at the end. So just make sure you keep those questions coming. All right, so now in terms of really growing your business, well, how do you find new qualified prospects? And the thing with LinkedIn is, you have to figure out who are the right people that you should talk to out of the 330 LinkedIn members. Well, there's a number of different methods that we teach, but the most powerful is definitely LinkedIn's advanced people search that top LinkedIn marketers use. And once you learn how to do this, you can find your best prospects really easily, and a lot of it ties into the ideal client profile that we already talked about earlier. So in terms of what you put into your ideal client profile, you'll see here it's pretty much matching, the title, and you want to make sure you select current. So this is something that a lot of people miss, but this is going to cut down on your the number of people you have to contact. So select current because you want to make sure who you're contacting right now is in their current position, and then the location. Could be by company or industry, by company size as well. And the reason why you want to specify all of these, you want to be as specific as possible, is because you don't want to be reaching out to, hundreds of thousands of prospects who are not as qualified. You want to really just get the ones that are most qualified. So then the question becomes, well, once you find them using this search, well, how do you actually start reaching these people to really start engaging with them and moving them towards becoming your clients and partners? And I'm going to show you 2 strategies. One for how do you get referrals, and one is for how do you engage prospects and partners that you've never reached out to before through our custom value selling campaign. It's a 4-part campaign that I'm going to show you just in a couple of slides from now. So the first strategy is, how do you get referrals? Well, a lot of people ask me this since it's how they typically get most of their business and build up their projects. So type this into the chat box if this is primarily how you've been able to grow your business and projects. Okay, all right. Okay, awesome. So referrals are really great because it's usually much easier and quicker to convert a referral to a client and partner instead of just a cold lead. And some say it's as high as 15 times easier. So how do you really get those referrals? Well, I'm going to share with you the 4 steps. The first is to connect with your 10 to 20 top existing and past clients or partners on LinkedIn. So the reason why you want to do this is because these are going to be the people that are most likely to refer you to others. And they're going to be the ones that's going to say the greatest thing about who you are, about your products, about your services. They are going to show why they love you so much. And then they're also going to likely know a lot of others who are just like them, who would be great leads for you. The second step is to ask them for permission to mention their name when contacting prospects in their network. So you want to make it really easy for them to say yes. And the problem with a lot of times just the traditional way whereby maybe you ask them to introduce you via email or phone or face-to-face, sometimes it just might not happen, even if you give them just an email blurb that they can copy and paste, because people get busy nowadays. And so what you want to do is you want to make this really easy for them to say yes. And I'm going to show you the script just on the next slide here that allows you to achieve this. So anything in red is going to be what you'll customize. So let's say your client is named John. So, hi John, hope business is going well. If I come across people that you're connected to on LinkedIn and want to find out more about their business, would I be able to mention your name when contacting them? Thank you very much and look forward to hearing from you. Now, the beauty of this is that this is going to be a lot faster for them to simply reply yes, because it's one simple question. They can likely read this entire message in less than a minute. So this is very key when it comes to people that you're dealing with who are really busy. And so now they can just simply reply yes or okay, one word answer, as opposed to them having to type up a fairly long answer. So they're much more likely to say yes and be okay with referring you. And just imagine if you got this email. Would you be more likely to say yes? Well, probably, because it's so simple. It really doesn't require you to do that much. So this just opens up the opportunity for you to start contacting their connections. Now, once you get that response, now it's really time to reach out to them. And so you want to use the advanced searching function that we talked about earlier to find prospects within their connections. So you want to search for second connections who are group members. And this is where a lot of people struggle. I don't recommend at this point to send a connection request at this stage to that prospect or to that lead. Instead, you want to send a message to them. So what's the best way to do that? Well, you want to send a message through the LinkedIn group that you both belong to. And you can actually do this for free as opposed to using email, which can be quite costly. So what I'm going to show you is this message that you can now send to start building that relationship with them. So remember, anything in red is going to be what you need to customize for yourself. So let's say that lead, that prospect, is named Mary. So hi Mary, and you can see here personalized it so they know you're not spamming them. I came across your profile as we're both connected to John Smith. I mentioned to John that I'll be reaching out to you and he thought it would be a good connection. So this first part is really critical, all right? It's really all about establishing a rapport, and because you have this shared connection, and especially if, let's say, Mary and John have a really good relationship, well, you're pretty much just leveraging off of that relationship, that credibility that John's already put into place with Mary, and you can just be able to go off of that to really start building your connection. And it's sort of like friends of friends. They're more willing to talk to you. Now, it'd be great to find out more about your business or about what you do, depending on your situation. So at this point, you're not trying to sell them on your products and services. You want to find out more about their business or about what they do and what they're trying to achieve or need help with so that you can further the relationship. So this is especially true if, let's say, the people you want to reach are business owners, and you tell them that you want to find out more about their business. Well, they're thinking, yes, I definitely want to talk to you. So then the next part is, do you have time next Tuesday for a quick chat? Now, it's important to specify a date and not just sometime next week because you want them to be able to make that decision real fast to decide on talking to you. So if they're not available that day, they can specify something else, but it just speeds up the process. And another key part for getting that meeting that you want, that conversation, is to mention that it's just a quick chat. So people are really busy nowadays. That prospect or decision maker that you want to talk to, if you tell them that you want to sit down for an hour, they're probably going to say no. So the quick chat works really well because now they're thinking, well, I have this person that we have shared connection with wants to find out more about what I'm doing and my business, and it's just a quick chat. Great, sounds good. And then you just thank them and sign off. Now, you do have to customize this for your own situation. Don't just copy the script. You need to put it into your own language so that it represents who you are. And I want to just allow you to walk you through this process so that you can really see how it's much easier and faster for getting referrals to turn them into initial discussions, whether that be sales calls or presentations or partnerships. So this is how we were able to get prospects that we've never contacted before. Actually, this was a surprise to us, whereby this prospect was referring others with just sending one message to him. So you can see here, not only is he interested in finding out more, he also forwarded this to 6 friends who are also in that ideal prospect and partner category. And this is without us asking for it. So that's why it's so powerful to do this. So once you've gone through your referral sources, well, you need to figure out, well, how do you get more qualified prospects and decision makers to respond if you've never contacted them before? And I'll share with you what to do for best practices in the marketing campaign to get them to like you, to know you, and trust you so that they'll want to have that initial conversation with you. So the first step, and actually I'm going to talk about my 4-part custom value selling campaign in just a few slides from now. So you want to make sure you stay around for that. All right, so the first part is you want to build your network of quality connections. So there's a big misconception on LinkedIn in terms of, the number of connections you have is everything in terms of how successful you are. Now, that's only true if those connections are qualified leads and referral partners and people for you. So I much rather have, let's say, 500 really qualified connections who would be great clients and partners for me, as opposed to 5,000 connections who are just fairly general. They're great. I got a connection, but so what? So what you want to do is, in order to really invite these quality connections to connect and succeed in this, is you want to make sure that it's not just the generic, hi, I wish to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn. It's everybody sending that, and you want to be different. So in order to stand out, you want to make sure your invitation to connect, it must be personalized with their name. It needs to establish rapport, so make sure you mention your shared group or shared connection or perhaps interest, background, etc. Then, why do you want to connect? So especially when you're reaching out to people that they don't know you and it's online, so people are suspicious. Why do you want to connect to them? Is it to perhaps work together on something? Is it to partner up, share with them something of interest? What? So once you do that, I just want to share with you results. So for our client, before we did this build of network connections, he had about 1,300 connections. And then afterwards, he got about 1,549 connections, which was actually 211 new leads. And this was about a 42% acceptance rate. This was just within about a month here. And so it's still going to continue to grow from there. And so that's why it's so powerful in terms of this, whereby you're able to really build your network really quickly for you to really grow your business. Now, once you get connected, where we were able to get 30 to 60% for acceptance rates, now you can actually export those email addresses for your connections into your prospect list to follow up with them. So that's why it's so important to build these connections. Now, once you get connected, well, how do you get them to actually respond? And this is where I'm going to share with you my 4-part custom value selling campaign. So I want to share with you first what they don't want. They don't want a sales pitch. They don't want spam. And have you ever seen those messages on LinkedIn where it's like, hi, I'm this person from this company. We provide these products and services. Please contact me if you're interested. I'm sure you've probably seen a couple of those. So what do you do with those messages if you don't know them? Well, probably not respond, or perhaps you might delete it or consider it spam. And the thing is, prospects and decision makers, they will want to start having a conversation with you, even if they don't know you yet, if you can help them get what they want. So the big question is, what do they want? And it's really simple. They only want two things. Prospects and decision makers, they want to solve their problems and achieve their goals or their dreams. Now I'm going to give you this really great script in just a second. And this proven script is really awesome because this is how we were able to get responses from prospects, sometimes in just a few hours after sending this out. And this email script allowed me to double my responses from prospects. So again, anything in red, you'll need to customize for yourself. So hi, Carol, and you can see here, we want to personalize it to increase engagement. As we're both members of the Small Business Network LinkedIn group, so this is all about establishing rapport, and because you want to make sure that, especially online, people don't trust people nowadays as much. So you want to make sure that you have something in common that they'll want to read the rest of your message because they think, okay, this is somebody that maybe I should connect with. I want to reach out and help add value to you. Now, this is very key and very different from anything that they're going to get. And it's going to really distinguish you because you're reaching out and just saying, you know, you want to help add value to them. On LinkedIn, a lot of prospects are getting pitched to every single day by messages. So when you're saying that you just want to reach out and help add value to them without anything about pitching them on something, they're going to remember that. And they're going to want to engage with you because you're going to stand out. So what you want to do next is just ask them a question. And it's based on what we talked about before, in that what they're mainly interested in is what's in it for them. Would you please let me know your biggest problem you want to solve or what you want to achieve for using LinkedIn to grow your business? So this is going to be my case. Now, what you want to do here is you want to ask them one single question that they can reply to. And just one question because it's going to be much easier for them to respond to engage in conversation with you. You don't want to just send them a bunch of questions all at the same time. So asking them a question, it actually also increases responses because if you've ever sent out messages where it's just, you know, you're just telling them what you do, it doesn't really increase engagement. Whereas if you ask a question, then people are more likely to respond because they like to get their questions answered. It's sort of like, you know, when you ask people, how are you? They'll respond. Same idea. And then the other part about asking a question is that when people are looking for the answer to your question, they're going to be thinking and starting to connect you with, you know, where they are right now with their problems that they want to solve or dreams they want to achieve, and start seeing you as the potential solution, as that bridge to take them from where they are right now to where they want to be. So this is why it's so important to get them to start thinking of you in this way. Now, people, because it's online and you're reaching out to them for the first time, people are sometimes suspicious of this, why you would do that. So you want to put them at ease of why you asked the question. The reason is because I may be able to share some easy and practical strategies with you to help you. You're not saying, I have a list of packages, products, and services that I can sell you. You can simply say that you have some practical strategies. Thank you very much and look forward to hearing from you. And then in here, I want to really emphasize the fact that you want to make sure you're not including a big sales pitch. You know, the worst thing that you can do is start pitching people too soon before you've taken the time to position yourself. And then people wonder why they don't get responses if they try to sell in the first message. It's sort of like how you go up to a person on the street, you don't know them, and you say, you know, I know we just met, but will you marry me? I think we'd be great together. Now that person's probably going to think you're really odd and just run away. And you don't want your prospects or leads or partners to run away from you. And so that's why it's so key for not spoiling this relationship. And so that's why you want to make sure that you're avoiding big sales pitches right out of the gate here. And I'm going to show you the rest of the marketing campaign, which is you want to send this at least 7 days apart in between each message. So we talked about message 1, which is just to get a response from them. Now message 2 is about adding value. So this is going to be based on either their response to your question or what you think they'll be interested in. So perhaps you can share with them a blog post or an article or report, video, resource of some sort that really helps them in this area. Message 3 is about establishing your credibility so that they'll see you as the go-to business. So in here, you'll need to showcase your ability to help clients, such as through whether it's case studies or perhaps articles that you've written that's gotten a lot of views, or media appearances that really feature you as the expert. Now, message 4, this is where you can really get that call to action. You can ask them to your call to action. So whether that's your call or meeting or webinar or free training or presentation that you want to get with them. And I know we walked through this fairly quickly here, but I hope that this goes to show you how powerful this can be with the 4-part campaign. And so imagine if you got qualified prospects wanting you to call them, because this is what we were able to do with this campaign. So you can see here, not only were they providing their email, their cell phone, and actually just saying that they have this time available. And so we didn't actually ask for this. They provided it themselves. Or perhaps you want prospects applying for free consultations. You can see here I've submitted the application, sign up to receive your introductory training, what can I do to get started, and chat with you via email. And one of my clients, he says, the hardest thing for any business owner is finding new customers. Following that, within days, he got 75 qualified potential new clients. And so this campaign, it really gives you a constant stream of new prospects, new leads that you can work with through the rest of our system to really turn them into sales calls or meetings for partnerships, and then a percentage of them into clients and partners for you. Now, the third part is to become an influencer and stay top of mind with your prospects. So one of the best ways to do that and how to get people to think of you first to stay top of mind is to create discussions and post once to twice per week into your LinkedIn groups. Now, the reason why you want to do this is because each of these prospects in these groups, and I'm talking about, tens or hundreds of thousands of members, each of them, they're going to receive emails like this from LinkedIn with digestive activity from these groups on a daily or weekly basis. You probably have seen them in your inbox. So you can see every time, let's say you create a discussion, it has your name in it, it has your subject in it. And so you literally get seen by tens or hundreds of thousands of prospects every single week. And the reason why you want to do this, why you want to consistently create discussions, is because it's just the fact that a percentage of people that you're going to talk to today, they're not in the market for you just yet, but they might be down the road. And so this is what this top of mind strategy allows you to do. It's sort of like how realtors and real estate agents, they send you monthly updates of what's happening in the market. It's the same reason, because they want you to think of them first if you're wanting to sell or buy something. And so that's what you want to do here. Now, the second strategy is to really allow you to grow and be an influencer, is you can create and grow your own LinkedIn group full of your prospects that you can then use as your email prospect list. Now, some people might not know about this, but the reason why it's really great for you to build your prospect list using groups is because you're able to actually send an announcement once a week to your group members. And I know for a lot of you, you're here because you got such an announcement. And you can send this with your content or training or promotion. So the key here, the key to getting success and getting people to join your groups is that you want to have a group title that's focused on who your prospects are and what they want. And so let me just show you an example. So for my client, she was targeting, you can see here, who her prospects and partners are. So oil and gas executives, Calgary entrepreneurs, and then what do they want? Well, they want these to improve in these areas. And so we sent out 400 LinkedIn invites to completely cold prospects, never reached out to them before. And we were able to get 23%, or about 95 of them to really join and get into the group within just 1 week with just one invite, just one message to them. So now here's where we're going to tie it all together, this fourth part, for how you can really automate and accelerate to grow your business and grow your projects. So successful businesses, they grow by leveraging top talent and having a team to support them so that you can really focus on what you do best to get the highest return on your investment. So you can go at this on your own and use up your valuable time on learning best practices, figuring out what to say for your profile, for your messages, for your discussions, and then finding prospects and sending out email messages one at a time. Now you have to do this because you want to ensure that you're complying with LinkedIn's user agreement, which you want to make sure you are not using a software to automate sending out messages. That could get you banned with your LinkedIn account, and then you'll have lost everything. And then on top of that, you have to work on testing out strategies to see what works and what doesn't, which could be a few hours each week or more. And it could take months or years to finish going through that trial and error phase. So now I know that because I've been there, it's quite a struggle. So if you really want to automate and accelerate your success, you can outsource this to a LinkedIn expert who does all of this for you. And you can really use them to leverage their expertise. They've gone through it. They spent years perfecting it, and you can rely on their experience instead of going through trial and error on your own. You can also leverage their time to get them to implement best practices for you. So time is one of those really valuable things that you have, and you're never going to get that back. And this allows you to just free up more of your time to do what you love, and how you'll be able to really focus on what you do best to get the highest return on your investment. So that's why it's so powerful to get them to do this for you. Now you might be thinking that outsourcing, it might cost a lot, but compare this to how much your hourly rate is. How much opportunity cost are you doing for taking the time to learn and implement this by yourself? Or if you have to train your assistant, it still costs a lot of time and effort. So think about all that time that instead you could focus on what you do best within your business, which is probably talking to those qualified prospects or partners. Now, unless you're really ready to take action, then none of this is really going to get you the results that you're going to want to see. And so I want to show you, here's what your commitment will be for getting 500 qualified prospects, leads, and partners in just 8 minutes a day. And I'm going to assume that you're going to be someone who is going to really just outsource this to help you increase your return on your investment. So in terms of the foundation setup, for your ideal client profile, it's going to take about an hour. Then you want to approve your optimized profile and marketing campaign that's created by a LinkedIn expert. So they already done this for you. You just need to approve it. And this will be about 30 minutes of your time. Now, the key is now once you have that set up, you just have to do it once, and now you can just focus on the daily lead generation and prospecting. So finding and contacting qualified prospects and partners, because it's outsourced, it's just going to be zero time on your part. And we actually do this for our clients where we send out about 100 messages a day to prospects. So we'll finish starting to connect with 500 qualified prospects and engaging them within just 5 business days. Then you want to respond to prospects in your inbox. So if it's pretty much just like if you had people contact you through your own regular email. So we're allowing about 5 minutes a day, but this is really the good stuff, right? Imagine if more of your time is just focused on talking to qualified prospects and leads, then the more sales and partnerships that you're going to be able to grow your business with. Now, in terms of review, you want to make sure that on a monthly basis you get a strategic review whereby you want to make sure what you're doing on LinkedIn is aligning with what you're doing with your business and projects. So I've allotted about an hour a month, and divide that by 20 business days, it's about 3 minutes a day. So this is how you get to that 8 minutes a day, and how you're able to get in front of those 500 qualified prospects and decision makers within just 14 days in just 8 minutes a day. Now let me show you 2 case studies for how this all works. So first case study is my client who's a marketing and publicity coach. So he wanted somebody to take care of the lead generation and social media so that he can really focus on what he does best in his business, which is talking to qualified prospects and coaching. Now, he wasn't active on LinkedIn. So what we did for him was we optimized his LinkedIn profile to show up higher in search results and have more prospects connect with him. And then we joined LinkedIn groups that contained his ideal clients of people in healthcare, medical, who are speakers and authors. Then we searched and messaged ideal clients asking them if they want strategies for getting free TV publicity on network and talk shows. And so our results were that we had prospects respond within just hours or a few days to request more information and requesting a phone call, and you can see here giving their number, giving their email, the best time to call. And again, this is without us asking for any of this. We were just asking if they'd be interested in finding out more, and then they provided all of this to us. Now, our other client is in consulting services. So he was the director of sales, and he wanted somebody to increase lead generation through LinkedIn and reach senior management and C-level executives in mid to large companies. And a lot of them were Fortune 500 companies. So he hadn't used LinkedIn to generate leads before. And what we did was we optimized his LinkedIn profile along with the other sales team members for him to really show up higher in terms of search results and have more prospects connect with them. Then we joined LinkedIn groups that contained their ideal clients of people in supply chain who are directors and VPs in procurement and sustainability. Then we directed a LinkedIn outreach campaign to offer a one-on-one online presentation for a strategy session on compliance. So the results were he got $60,000 in sales from just 2 contracts for him and his team. And this is a 15 times return on their investment. And they're still following up on the leads that we've generated for them. And so here's the question that you have to ask yourself now. What's that opportunity for you to grow your income this year? And I'm talking about the return on investment. So I want you to make sure you grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil. You can do this on your computer as well. So what if you can reach out to 500 qualified prospects and leads and partners in just the next 14 days? What percentage of prospects that you reach out to will be interested in your products or services? And then what percentage of those prospects will convert into your clients? So you can do this based on your experience in the past. And likely, whether you're looking for clients or partners, the percentage is going to go up because you're now able to talk to more qualified decision makers. And then, how much is the average new client worth to you or partner worth to you? So this could be that initial year when they become your client, or if they stay with you for a long time, this could be that lifetime value that they're worth to you. So once you figure this out, I want you to really just take 30 seconds, figure this out for yourself. And then this is how you're going to be able to see if, LinkedIn is worth it for you. So in terms of revenue generated, I want you to take 500 because you're reaching out to 500 leads, multiply that by the percentage of prospects that you reach out to that's going to be interested in what you have to offer. And then what percentage of that is going to convert into clients and partners for you? And how much is the average new client or partner worth to you? And what I want you to do is I want you to type that into the chat box, just because I want to see what this actually means for you so that I can figure out what's the best way to help you. So if you can just take a few seconds, calculate this out, and then just type that into the chat box in terms of what this really means for growing your business, growing your projects. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So 50,000. Okay. All right. 85. Okay. Okay. 120. Very nice. Very nice. All right. 70. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So I really want you to take the time and figure this out for yourself, because here's the thing. Is this an acceptable return on your investment for you? You know, just 8 minutes a day for you to get this return. And you can continue doing this many more times this year, because this is how you're going to be able to generate your income in the next 12 months from this LinkedIn system. And on top of that, this is going to be something that you can repeat, that can consistently get you more leads and get you more sales. Now, what if you can simply focus more of your time on talking to ideal prospects who want you to call them, who want to meet with them? And how much faster and easier would you be able to grow your business and have more free time to do what you love? So if you want to accelerate your business sales growth and go to that next level of success faster and easier while saving time and effort, I want to introduce you to our Done For You services from start to finish, whereby you're able to use our LinkedIn for lead generation. And it's for those of you who are ready to move forward with the system and want to work with me and my team. So to really help you in doing all of this, to really bring you those qualified prospects, for getting you in front of those decision makers so that you can have more conversations with them, so that now you can grow your client base, grow your partner base. And this is especially ideal for you if you're clear as to who your ideal clients are, who your ideal partners are, and you have a structured sales process and you just need that initial call or meeting or contact to get it going. You want measurable results to see an ROI, and you have probably a higher pricing or specialized product or service. Maybe you're short on time or people to implement it, but you definitely want to have more conversations with these decision makers. If this is something that fits you, then this is going to be a really great fit for you. So how does this all work? Well, it's really, really easy. All right. So first step is to just click on this link. And I'm actually going to paste this into the chat here. You can see here. So linkbusinessaccelerator.com/DFY. All right, and that's the first step. Step 2 is to just schedule a call with me, and you'll be able to do that right there with this link here. Then step 3 is to fill out a really short form, and it's just quick questions about your business, about what you're wanting to do with your business and your projects, and about who you're trying to reach and grow relationships with, whether it's your clients or partners that you want. Now, what happens on this call is that we're going to give you a private 30 to about 45 minutes one-on-one call with me. And so you can see here, there we go. All right, so you'll be able to see how we can really work together. And this is a chance for me to find out, if we could be a good fit. We're just going to talk. I'm going to find out more about your business, about your projects, and then you can ask me questions to see if this is something that would fit you. We're going to really be able to do this for you, to really help you with a strategy, to guide and implement for you every step of the way, so that you can really focus on what you do best in your business, to really help you increase your return on investment. And this is going to be done for you from start to finish. Now, unfortunately, because of capacity, I've only got 8 spots that I'm opening up for this call here. And so again, if you're here on this webinar, that's great for you, because that means you get first chance to sign up for this. And it's just a free call where I'm going to talk with you. I'm going to really chat with you to determine if this is going to be a good fit. I'm going to personally work with you to really help you grow your sales, grow your partnerships, and to really help you save your time and your effort. So if you're ready for this, which I know you are, then just go ahead, schedule a free Linked Business Accelerator call with me at linkedbusinessaccelerator.com/DFY. And I'm really, really, really super excited to work with you to help you achieve that level of success that you want and that you deserve. And so here's something that you have to decide on, all right? This is your decision to make for your success. You essentially have three options. First is to do nothing, which would be no change. And if that was true, then you wouldn't be on this training. So I know that you want to change and commit to getting better results from LinkedIn to grow your business and grow your projects. The next option is to do it yourself and go at it alone. So this requires a lot of time to learn, and it took me years to learn these strategies. And on top of that, time that it takes to implement. So it's time required, if you think about it, time required on top of what you're already doing now. And it does require a lot of effort. So you have to go through a lot of constant trial and error. And then here's the third option for you. You can just have this done for you from start to finish, where you can just focus on talking to qualified prospects and partners and have somebody who's been through it to strategize and implement for you every step of the way. And so really, it comes down to your decision. And so if you want to have this done for you from start to finish, again, it's only limited to 8 spots, and I haven't checked, but it's probably filling up right now, where I am personally going to work with you to really help you grow your projects, grow your business, and really help you save your time and effort. So go ahead, just schedule a free call with me at www.linkedbusinessaccelerator.com/DFY. All right, so now at this point, actually, before we go into Q&A, I do have a special bonus for you. So just after this, after our webinar here, I'm gonna be sending you so initially we had the webinar worksheet. Well, to make this a lot easier for you, I've actually filled out that entire worksheet, and I've also included the email scripts that we walk through just right there in an attachment in the PDF format, so that you can just take that, copy and paste, and customize it for your own situation. So that's going to be there available for you. I'm going to send it through your email after this. It's probably going to be about within 3 hours after this training webinar. I'm going to send this out for you. So make sure you watch out for that subject line where it says replay, and also it says bonus. So that's just something that I want to share with you because you're still here. And so now I want to really open it up to questions. If you do have any, just go ahead and type that into the chat box. And I'm going to answer some of the questions that some people have already typed in here. So make sure if you do have any questions, just go ahead and type that into the chat box and we'll get that answered. Right? So, okay. So Rick asks, how do you sell a one-time only service? Okay, so well, with the one-time only service, you can still go through this campaign that we walk through. It's still the same way, and it's pretty much the same conversation. Whether you're selling something that's a repeat business or a one-time service, you can go through this campaign to just start engaging with them. So start connecting with all those prospects and partners so that they can send and either grow your business as clients or send you more business that way. And then also you want to go through that campaign to really engage and then also build that relationship with people. Okay. All right. So Bill, you asked about cost. All right. So in terms of cost, because everybody's going to be different in terms of what you're looking for. So just go ahead, book that call with me, and then on that call, we're going to talk about what you're trying to achieve so that we can determine what's the best solution for you, and then you'll be able to see what the investment is so that you can really gauge that return on investment. So make sure you just book that call with me. All right, Bill? And I definitely look forward to talking with you about what it is that you are doing. All right. So okay. So Richard asks, well, how do you use LinkedIn to support an existing Kickstarter campaign? Okay. So Richard, I think probably. All right, Bill, great. So in terms of building and supporting an existing Kickstarter campaign. So there's a lot of groups where it's crowdfunding and crowdsourcing groups. I know oftentimes with Roy, he's managing the biggest crowdfunding and crowdsourcing group with over 30,000 members there. And so once you join that, if you can find who those decision makers are in terms of if you look back as to who's currently supporting you in terms of your existing campaign, and just create an ideal client profile, ideal partner profile based on that, and then do an advanced search for those types of people within LinkedIn based on, let's say, their title, industry, company size, location, and all of that. And then reach out to them within that group and start messaging to them and just engaging them in terms of, you can probably start asking your existing campaign supporters as to, what initially intrigued them about it, and you want to then create that into your conversation in terms of when you're messaging these other campaign supporters. And you can do the same thing whereby you can join not just that one, but join the other groups that might not be crowdfunding focused, but let's say whoever's supporting you might be in a particular industry or in a particular type of position, then you want to join those groups and then again start messaging them on that. Okay, so first thing is to just figure out who it is that's currently supporting you, and then get the ideal client profile created, then join those groups that have those types of people, and then start connecting with them and then sending them a campaign message. All right. Okay, so all right. Okay, Bill. Yep, we'll talk about that later. You're welcome. So in terms of, all right, another question is there an advantage in paying for premium services? So yeah, so in terms of premium services, definitely if I usually tell clients, when you're just optimizing your profile, and that at that point you don't really need a premium service. It's only when if you're trying to reach, let's say, client prospects, leads, and partners based on, if let's say, company size, or perhaps sometimes seniority, but more so I would say company size is a big factor. So if that's something that's key for you, if you want to reach only, let's say, small business or mid-size or larger businesses, then that filter is only available for premium members. And the other thing is in terms of search results. So the unfortunate part is LinkedIn did tighten up how many search results it shows for free members. They did that sort of at the beginning of this year. So now, in terms of getting a lot more of search results of people that you would be really great prospects and partners for you, that's only available now with the premium members. And the other thing is with premium members, the great part that I really find, especially, if you're doing campaigns like Kickstarter or just projects or business in general, you want to be able to let your prospects and leads and partners contact you for free. And that's what LinkedIn Premium, if you have that, allows you to do. You can pretty much set it so that anybody can contact you for free on LinkedIn, as opposed to them having to use their email, which could cost a lot to contact you. So you want to make sure that you are able to really just start reaching out and be able to showcase yourself as open to any opportunities that come by. So the other part is also in terms of search results, you're also likely to show up a bit higher, and you actually get more space. It's sort of like if you think about running ads, you actually get more space in that search result. So people can see more information about you. And studies have shown that, especially online, when people can see more information about you as compared to another person, they're much more likely to engage with you. So that's another benefit of the having LinkedIn Premium. So those are some of the, I would say, the key areas for LinkedIn Premium. Right? So okay. All right. So can LinkedIn be used to reach out to prospects with proposals? All right. Haven't had much success with it. Okay. All right. So the reason why is because, well, okay, so with LinkedIn for reaching out to them with actual proposals, I've never done that for myself or for my clients. And it's because a lot of times we work with more so higher end products and services whereby it's if you're just sending them a proposal right there without having at least either a call or a meeting with them, then they're really unlikely to read it. And so that's why we've never done that, especially when you're building a relationship online. The goal is to start the relationship online, but in order to actually close the sale or get that business, it's you need to do the proposal primarily after you had either a phone conversation or a face-to-face meeting with them, or an online presentation whereby you can get them to actually converse with them and not just via email or via messages. And so definitely with proposals, I wouldn't advise for you to send them through during when you're just building this relationship online through LinkedIn. Okay, so here's a question about ads. All right, so what are your thoughts about LinkedIn ads and increasing conversion rates? So with ads, I know for a lot of people, maybe Google ads, Facebook ads, it's quite popular and it does provide good return on investment. For business to business, especially if you're trying to reach decision makers, LinkedIn ads, it's definitely a lot more costly than just Facebook or Google, because you're getting more qualified leads. And so oftentimes the thing is with LinkedIn ads, if you're getting them to click through, you have to make sure that the page that you're getting them to click through to is converting well, because if you haven't tested it before, it could definitely be quite costly, and I definitely made that mistake initially when I first started. So just not having tested out the page before, and I spent a lot of money on that, and not really getting the return on investment for that. And so the reason why, in terms of the system that I showed you, why I didn't really mention LinkedIn ads is because we find that just using the lead generation and inviting people to connect and actually just directly messaging them, it has better response rates. So it actually cuts down on your costs, and so it increases your return on your investment here. So that's why we typically just we don't really do LinkedIn ads, because it does require, if you have a lot more money to spend, then okay, yeah, that makes sense. But typically a lot of times for small to medium businesses, getting just that relationship built with, if you get that connection with them, and this way you're able to get their email addresses if you want to do email marketing to them, or just directly messaging them through LinkedIn so that you're able to get that response. It's oftentimes much more effective than just ads alone. All right, so okay, let's see here. What other questions are there? Okay, so personal profile versus the company page. Okay, so with the company page, people are wondering, do you need a company page? Well, the thing is, with the company page, you the they've taken out a lot of features that used to be there available on the company page. LinkedIn sort of did that in the beginning of the year, and so it's not as useful now as before. And the thing is, with LinkedIn, a lot of times decision makers, they'll more so engage with you mainly through your personal profile, because people do business with people, not necessarily company pages, especially online. And so with the company page, you should have it just to increase your credibility, in case they do start just researching your business. But I would say the main part is actually more so working on your personal profile and engaging with people through that way. So you still want to set up your company page, but I would say more of your time should be focused on using your personal profile to engage with people, because when people become followers of your company page, it's not the same as if people were to become connections with you. So with followers for company pages, you can't export their email addresses to email market to them. Whereas with a connection, you can. And so that's why it's pretty useful in that sense to use it from a personal page to do this. Okay. All right. So, okay, what about for if your business is selling directly to consumers? Okay. So if you're in, let's say, the selling directly to consumers, then typically you wouldn't really approach them on LinkedIn. But what you can do is use LinkedIn to create referral partnerships. So let's say, for example, for let's say real estate agents. So it's not going to work for you necessarily as well if you're just sending messages to people to see if they're going to sell their house or their real estate. But you can start building up that connection, getting them onto, inviting them to connect, and then building up your connection list so that you're able to do email marketing to them. So you can just take that, export it, and put them into your regular email marketing for that. And then the other thing is you can use it to really build referral partnerships. So let's say you can reach out to people that perhaps your consumers might constantly go to. So it'd be complementary businesses. So for example, in the case of a real estate agent, maybe it's CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, people like that, or like wholesalers, home builders, and so forth, mortgage brokers. And so you can use this to grow partnerships. And we've done that for our client as well, who was a mortgage broker. And so we reached out to people like CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, who worked with businesses, and he provided the commercial loans. And so that's what we did to build up those partnerships to get those referrals. All right. So okay, so there's people asking if this will work for specific industries, and the answer is yes. If you're looking at prospects and referral partners on LinkedIn, then in almost all cases, you're going to be able to find them on LinkedIn. There's over 330 million members on LinkedIn, and so you'll be able to really reach out to them to really grow your business and so forth. All right. Okay, so it looks like we're coming up on time. I just want to be respectful of your time here. And so if you do have questions that we weren't able to answer today, I would really encourage you to just email myself, and you can reach me at subscribe@socialmediaforhire.com. The 4 is just the number 4, and HIRE.com. And I'd be really happy to help you out. And I really just want to thank you for participating today, for being here today. I can tell that you're really excited, and from the feedback from the chat that this is really powerful stuff. So here's what I want to leave you with. All of your prospects are on LinkedIn, and all of your partners are on LinkedIn. So whether or not you work with me, I want you to understand that being able to know how to reach them and how to engage them will increase your leads, your sales, your business, and really help you to grow it in a predictable and consistent manner. And if you're really serious about making this happen, then make sure you schedule the Link Business Accelerator call with me. You're welcome. And I don't want to butcher your name here, Bego or Bigo. So you're welcome and thank you for participating. So if you've scheduled the call today, I'm very excited to work with you, and I'm really pumped to see the results that you're going to get. So if you're on the fence, well, there's really nothing to lose. And because it's free, I just would really encourage you to schedule that call. And again, I'm assuming those are getting booked up fairly quickly here. I only do have 8 spots because of my time available, but I am going to go ahead and just sign off. I'm going to leave the screen on for just a few more minutes for those of you who are just scheduling the call with me right now. And I really do want to just thank you for being with us today. Really blessed to have you here. And I really look forward to talking with you again very soon. Now, until we talk, Here's to really helping you to create more free time to be with your family and friends, to make a positive difference, and do what you love. Talk to you soon.